Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So like I told you guys, I was going out to see my best friend out in Long Beach, and I actually bought him this shirt to give him for his birthday, and he absolutely loved it. So I was like, now we match because I have the same shirt. So I didn't sleep again last night. It's just been a struggle, so not really like all there. It's because I haven't been sleeping. So, but also I've been going to sleep way too late. So, anyway, I prime my eyes with the with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder, and then for my eyeshadow palette I went into the Ensley Rain Groovy Garden palette because I wanted to wear one of my new cardigans from Lucky. And even though it was like kind of warm out, it was still pretty breezy out where I went because they get like very stormy out there, and it was raining today, so I decided to wear it. So I just wanted to use this beauty because I love this palette so much, and I hadn't used it in a hot second. So I've probably used this palette the most besides the Golden Hour palette this year. They're probably my two most used palettes because I love this palette so much, and that Golden Hour palette I can never get enough of. Or Golden Sun, whatever it's called, the one from ColourPop. I use that one all the time. So I went into Free Love in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Marvy, and then I used Peace on the outer corners, and then for the lid I went into Retro, which is the center shade. Oh my god, what a beautiful like yellowish goldish green. It's just so stunning. Their shimmers are absolutely insane. They are the most pigmented shimmers, and they're so super shiny and so wet looking and so glittery and metallic. They're just so beautiful. And then I went into Free Thinker on the brow bone, and then for the inner corners I used Jazzed, which is such a pretty shade. And yeah, that's everything that I used, and it turned out beautiful as usual because every time I use this palette it always turns out beautiful. And then just put that back. For my waterline, I went into the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Charmer. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then the Tartelette Tubing Mascara, and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 SOS Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into the Laura Mercier one. I probably should have just used this tomorrow, but it's fine. I just didn't want to use anything too full coverage. The Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation in the shade 1C1 Cool Vanille. And then for my concealer, I went into the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer in the shade 0N1. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder again. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in the shade Tantric. And then for my blush, I went into the Give Me Glow blush in the shade Dear Diary, which is a really, I can open this. It's a really beautiful like mauvey pink. And then for my highlight, I went into my Flower Beauty palette. I just wanted to use an oldie but a goodie. And I used the these two shades, and I just mixed them together. I don't know if they have names, and I don't even know if she has this palette available anymore, but these highlighters are stunning. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Anywhere Caffeine for my lip liner. And then for my lips, oh my god, why do I always drop these damn palettes? I'm trying to like, I just have so much shit. I'm trying not to buy as much shit anymore, but it's like so hard for me not to. Because, you know, I really like stuff, okay? And when I get obsessed with something, I get obsessed. Like with books and makeup and clothes, you know? And now it's just like, it's just too much excess in my life that I need to, like, I just need, once I, like, cleaned out some of my not palettes, books that I wanted to get rid of, that I want to sell to the bookstore here, I felt so much lighter. And I actually haven't been buying as many books this week, but I might check out this bookstore where I'm going tomorrow. I'll tell you guys that in a minute. So I went into the Harry Potter Luxe lipstick in the shade Hermione because I really wanted to use like a peachy pink, and this went really well with the cardigan that I wore. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, I'm still reading Just Last Night by Mahari McFarlane. I'm on page 171 now. That's still 150 pages more than I was up to yesterday. Because I was only on page 18 when I left to go to the beach yesterday, and now I'm on page 170. It's just, this book is like longer than I expected. It's like 393 pages. And so far, I am really enjoying it. It's still very well written. I'm kind of uncertain right now, though, if this is still going to be a 5-star. We will see. I'm still really enjoying it, though. Like, there's not a dull moment in this book. I don't think it's boring like other people said. And I really, like I said, really want to read her other books. But it went from being hysterically funny to really sad. But also, that's exactly how life is. So I feel like if it was just funny the entire time, maybe it would lack some depth. So, but also it's a little bit hard to like the male main character right now because I really like the female main character named Eve, but Ed, I don't know. I love how it's Ed and Eve. That's actually really funny. I just realized that they both start with E. So I don't know. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm still gonna finish it. But what's really annoying is that this book is actually included in Spotify Premium, but I don't get listening hours until Monday. Literally, I have to wait one more day tomorrow, and I can finally get my listening hours back the 10th because that's how, or actually maybe it's Tuesday because my it usually always renews like the day that your subscription payment comes out a month, and it's usually the 10th for me every month. So it's just so annoying when it's included and it's a book that you're reading. It's like I wish that, they would give you like 20 hours maybe so I could actually put it towards a book that I'm reading. It's just so annoying. I hate it. So anyway, I'm going to continue reading that. I'm going off on a tangent because I can't remember what I wanted to say. But now I do, obviously. So I'm going to brunch tomorrow with a couple of my friends, actually the same friends that I went to the beach with. And then my best friend actually came over later and he played games with us because he works Fridays. Like, he really can't get Fridays off. And for some reason, my friends only want to go to the beach on Fridays. I don't know why, but, I think Chris was able to make it once or possibly twice. I can't remember, but with all of us. But, since it's hard for him to get Fridays off, like, he wasn't able to go. But he did come to the house afterwards for the barbecue, so that was great. So we're going to, like, this place in Babylon called Trey Palms. So I'm excited to go. It's going to be really good. I'm just excited to be outside by the water. It's just going to be so nice. And then there is like a bookstore there that I was thinking about going to. And then Monday, because I don't know what we're doing after brunch. I don't think we're really doing anything. Because brunch is we're only going to be there till like probably a little bit after 2. Because brunch is our reservations for 12:45, so I have to be up like probably by 11. Probably like 10:45 because I'm probably gonna leave by 12:15 because it says it takes like a half hour to get there, a little bit less than that. So I think 12:15 should be fine. Or maybe like 12:10 so I can get there at like 12:40. So I'm like there like 5 minutes early just so we're all there, when we can be. And I hope my friend doesn't ask me to drive her and pick her up, because I really don't want to be ready earlier. But she didn't mention anything, so I guess she didn't need me to. So anyway, I'm excited. And then Monday, me and my mom are going to the bookstore so we can sell our books. So, and then Tuesday I'm working, and then Wednesday, I don't know if I'm seeing my boyfriend or not. And then Thursday, I have dinner plans with my other coworker. And then Friday might be another potential beach day. And Saturday might be either going to the beach with my best friend or seeing the new Beetlejuice movie, because we all want to see the new Beetlejuice. Like, literally all my friends have asked me already. I'm like, I don't know when I'm seeing it, because I need to coordinate with other people. So I'm not really sure yet. I don't know who I'm seeing it with. So yeah, well, actually, my friend Chris wasn't sure if he was going to see it with his grandma. So if he wants to see it with her, I'll just see it with somebody else. So yeah, because I have like 4 people that want to see it. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for yesterday. I'm actually not wearing makeup today, but also I was out like all weekend, so I was like, I don't really feel like wearing makeup today. And also um I already went out for the day. I went and got my nails done. Super pretty. It's a little similar to the last color that I had, but it's just kind of more like greenish blue, and I think it looks super pretty. But like the lady that did, she did a good job on my nails. Like my nails look really good. But like the massage that she gave me freaking sucked. Like she kept on like being like all over the place doing my back. And like as soon as she would like push down, she was like, and that was it. She would do it for like 2 seconds and then like move on to like a totally different part of my back. And I'm like, okay, are we actually gonna like push, and like massage that? Or are we just gonna go like this in a circle and that's it? It was just really not great. I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, and I felt like she kept on getting distracted, and then she would just rub lotion on it and then go like this. Like barely massaging it. I'm like, you didn't really do anything. And I did not want more time, because then I was like, if I add another 5 minutes, it's going to be like pretty much all of the same and it's still going to suck. So I'm like, okay, it was kind of a waste. So anyway, so like I told you guys yesterday, I went to brunch with my friends and it was just so nice. I had blueberry pancakes and they were so good with a side of bacon. So delicious, but this place was a little bit expensive. But it was just so worth it. It was just so nice. And yesterday was such a like breezy, beautiful day. And we got to sit outside because my friends usually bring their 2 dogs with them. And it was just so nice. And then we actually went to the bookstore in town because I really like one of the bookstores there. And I actually did get a couple of books. So I actually bought 3 used books yesterday. And I got 3 used books today. And then the only other book I'm going to buy is Nothing Like the Movies. But I don't know why I thought that book was coming out in September. It doesn't come out till October 1st. I think I was getting it confused with the next book that was coming out in the My Roommate is a Vampire series, which I think it's only a duology. And that comes out next week, like the 17th. So I was like, why the hell did I pick Nothing Like the Movies as my TBR pick for my 2024 release, when I actually already read the 2 2024 releases that I needed to, which was Primetime Romance and Life Impossible. So I don't know why. So I just made those my 2024 release prompts. So that's the only prompt I've fulfilled so far, but also I did read 2 other books that like everybody's putting on their TBR, like The Wishing Game and Just Last Night. I already read those too. So anyway, and then we went to get like drinks and a little bit of something to eat because we were also full from brunch. So we found like this really good Japanese restaurant that I go to with my other friend in this other mall that he lives near. It's like our favorite Japanese place. So I told them, I'm like, oh, me and my friend like really love this place. So we went there, and they also had outdoor seating, which was great. So also, I finally got some sleep last night. I passed the out in like 5 minutes. I was so tired, but I'm sticking to like trying to stay out of bed. Sorry, I don't know why my dogs are barking right now. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And I'm just saying right now, I really liked how my eyeshadow looked, but the bathroom, when I went to brunch, it stunk to holy hell. It stunk that like my makeup came off so badly. It like completely came off one of my eyes because I was gagging so much. I'm sorry if that's TMI, but it was disgusting. I couldn't breathe in there because it was only a single bathroom. They didn't have any other stalls, nothing. It was just one single bathroom. Like, great, it stinks in here. Oh, it's so nasty. So, like, my eyeshadow off of one eye completely came off. And I literally, like, looked like Two-Faced. And, like, nobody even noticed. But Karen was like, oh, my God, I didn't even realize when I actually showed it to her. I'm like, do you see this? I'm like, it's so gross. But it looked pretty at brunch anyway. So, anyway, I went into the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. And I basically just used the mattes from this palette. So, I went into Softly in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Novu, and then I used Pine on the outer corners, and those are the only 3 shades I used from here because I wanted to use a lid shade from a different palette. I actually forgot to put on an inner corner highlight yesterday, but it's fine. So I ended up going into my Bella Beauté bar, the Sun and the Sea palette. I forgot what it was called for a second, and I just used this shade Sun Kissed on my lid. I love this palette so much. I used the crap out of this past summer, so I definitely used this quite a bit as well. I love this palette so much. I probably should have just worn this one because I was a little bit nervous about the Cosmic Brushes one lasting when I went out, when I was outside. And what's so funny is that the last time I went to this town, I wore the Cosmic Brushes palette. I'm like, that's funny. But I wanted those, like, minty shades because I was wearing, like, a minty green top. And I thought it looked really cute with it. But then this probably would have lasted way longer. Such a shame because it looked so pretty, actually. And then for my liner, I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown. And then I went in with the Essence Lash Primer and then the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara on the top lashes. And then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the e.l.f. Liquid Tower SOS Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I used the Makeup by Mario foundation in the shade 1C. And then the coinciding concealer in the shade 120, and then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I'm pretty sure I just used the Pat McGrath bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. And then for my blush, I wanted to go into the Clarity blush in the shade Boo Thang. Again, these are insanely pigmented. Like, I like my blushes to be pigmented, but when they're, like, too pigmented, it's like you're afraid to put it on. And then for my highlight, I went into the Master Chrome by Face Studio highlighter in the shade 250, which this was actually the Nikki Tutorials one that she did with Maybelline. And I love those highlighters. They're so beautiful. It's such a pretty, like, whitish gold shade. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I went into the Pat McGrath Labs lip liner in the shade Structure. And then for my lipstick, I don't even know which one. Oh, right. I didn't use this bag yesterday. I used this bag because I didn't want to use my big backpack again. Oh, I like totally forgot which one it was. So I used the Gorgeous lipstick in the shade Shrimp Fried Rice because it's such a beautiful, like, peachy shade, and I just didn't feel like wearing a liquid lipstick. So that was everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, I did finish just last night. Like every time I say that, it's like, oh, you finished it last night? I'm like, yeah, I finished it just last night. What did you read? Just last night. Oh, I know when you read, but what did you read just last night? What do you mean, Caitlin? The book is called Just Last Night. And they're like, oh, I thought you were saying you finished it just last night. And I really, really liked it a lot. It wasn't a 5-star, but it was like very close. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because I just felt like the romance took a little bit too long to happen, and the person that I had no problem having a little plot twist where like the person you thought she was going to end up being with, she didn't, because he was a douche canoe. But I just felt like the romance took a little bit long to develop, and also like a little bit of the middle of the book, around like 65%. There was like this one part that just went on a little bit too long that it almost got a little boring, but then it really, really was, really good at the end. So like with like a 5-star for me, I have to be like, can't put the book down, obsessed with the characters, obsessed with the story, like everything, in order for me to give something 5-star, unless like something is such a beautiful story but also and like really impacted me, and also I loved like the characters so much. But my last 5-star was 15 Summers Later, and that was different because, and I kept on kind of comparing Just Last Night to 15 Summers Later, but I think they're both like incredible authors. And honestly, I feel like I could find a 5-star read from Mahari McFarlane. I don't know why I can't speak right now. So I do want to read her other books at some point, but I don't know when I'm going to get to them. I have so many books to read still. So I think I said I was going to move on to Lovely War by Julie Berry. I literally just started it today. I'm only like 40 pages in, but I'm already loving this. And I have a feeling this is probably going to be my 5-star read for the video that I'm working on, but I am obsessed. I love it so much already. Basically, it's about the gods, the Greek gods, Aphrodite, Hades, and Hephaestus, I believe. And Aphrodite basically like goes back and talks about like the her greatest love stories, and she's like telling these stories to Ares, and did I say Hades? I meant to say Ares and Hephaestus, but also Hades does make an appearance later on. And basically like the gods like talk about like their stories of like the humans that they like, you know, inspire to be in love, or like which humans they pick to start a war. Like it's so good. I'm like loving it, and I love her writing so much so far. So I am super excited to read more of this. I'll probably read like another 100-ish pages today, because this book is like 460 pages, so I think 150 pages a day would be ideal. So I should finish it by Wednesday, maybe latest Thursday afternoon, because I don't have to go anywhere until like Thursday night. I'm just working tomorrow, so I am going to binge this tomorrow as much as I can, because I'm enjoying it so much, and I literally cannot wait to go back to reading this. So I'm about to read for like the rest of the day pretty much. And we'll see how far we get. And also, I did get a couple of books, but I don't want to make this clip too long. So, bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. It is pretty late, so I'm trying to whisper. So I just worked earlier tonight. I just worked the closing shift, 4:30 to 8:30, and tomorrow I'm actually going to happy hour with my friend, and then even though I wasn't even sure what I was doing tomorrow, I still haven't seen my boyfriend because there's just some shit that needs to be sorted out, so it's great. And then Thursday I'm going to get ramen with my work bestie and one of our older co-workers. It's going to be great. She used to work at Lucky as like the assistant manager, and we love her, and sometimes we catch up like every few months, so it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna go to like this new ramen place in the village here, and we're like really excited to go. And then Friday is gonna be yet another beach day. And then Saturday I might be going to see Beetlejuice, which I really, really want to see it. I actually haven't been to the movies since Deadpool. We haven't seen anything since then because like we didn't really want to. And there's also another one. I think there's the new DreamWorks movie. It's like a robot one. I want to see that too, but I definitely want to see Beetlejuice. So those are the plans. Sunday, I'm not really sure. I might not do anything. So yeah, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. I forgot I wanted to use some lip scrub. I need to do that. And I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into the ColourPop or Kid You Not palette. And I really wanted to use this like a couple of days ago, but I ended up using like a different palette. Because like I haven't really known like what to wear lately because it's been like warm during the day, but then it gets colder around like 6 or 7 o'clock. So I've been wearing like long sleeve shirts to work that aren't like too hot. So I wore like this floral pink one. This black florally one with pink flowers. So I really just wanted to wear this palette. And what's funny is that I used the One and Only palette on Thursday, and then I used this one on Tuesday. But I love this palette and the Wine and Only are still my favorite 9 pans from ColourPop. This is like perfection. I love this palette so much, and if you are looking for an affordable, I don't even know if they have this anymore, but this is like one of the best palettes they've ever done. I love this purple palette. I love that it's just straight up purples. So I went into Rebloom in the crease, like no neutrals, just straight up purple. And I hate when they mix their palettes with neutrals now. It just annoys me. And then I darkened up the crease more with Moth. And then I used on the outer corners, and then I used Seedling all over the lid. And then for the inner corners, I used Pretty One. This is still one of my like favorite shadows ever from them. It's like such a unique, like lavendery lilac kind of shimmer, and I love it so much. Like a silvery lilac shade. It's so gorgeous, and I love this palette so much, and I try to use it as much as possible, like during like the fall time and everything. And then I used the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Charmer on the waterline, and then the Essence Lash Primer, and then I used the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara, and then I used the Maybelline Lash Scouring on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 SOS Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 050 Fair Cool. And then for my concealer, I used the Haus Labs concealer in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. And then I set my under eyes with the Haus Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Dior powder. I'm really tired because I didn't sleep really last night. Really, like the night before was like the only day I slept. So maybe, I don't even know if we're going to have another few days of insomnia, or maybe I'll sleep. I don't really know at this point, but what are you going to do? I think it's just because I went to bed a little late last night. Like, I've been trying to go to bed by like 2:30, 2:45, but I ended up going to bed at 3, so I really need to go to sleep earlier. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01, and the only day that I slept was when I went to sleep at 2:45. So, yeah, the thing is that I'll get like super sleepy and I'm so ready to go to sleep, and then I just won't fall asleep. So, it's just so annoying. I hate it. And then for my blush, I went into the ColourPop or Kid You Not because I wanted to, actually, no, this is just my Pluck. I always forget. This is not the Kid You Not. It's not the same. It's just from the Kid You Not collection, but I love this color. I almost dropped that. And then from my highlight, I went into the MAC highlighting palette. I love this freaking palette. It's so good. And then I just mixed the two highlight shades together. I don't know if you can even get these. I think I say that every single time I say that I used these, but I just use these as much as I can because they're so good. So I used Dipped in Stars and Sippin' on Stars. I don't know what the shade names are. I don't know if those are the right names for each, but I know that the highlights are called that. I'm just not sure if I pointed to the right ones, but I don't think you can even get these anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I went into... Oh, I also didn't wear makeup yesterday, and I have to tell you guys something about my books. So then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop lip pencil in the shade Soar. And then for my lipstick, I went into the Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Sugarcane, which is like a really, they don't exist anymore, but I really love this lipstick. It's so pretty. That's everything I used as far as my makeup goes. I'm pretty sure that I said what makeup I wore the day before because I got home. Did I get home late Sunday? No, I didn't get home late, but I was finishing a book, so I didn't feel like saying what my makeup look was. But so Monday we went and like sold some of my books. And I went with my mom because my mom wanted to sell some of her books, and we went to the local bookstore that I go to all the time where I pick up like so many good like used books. Like they have great used books there, and they're usually like $5 to $10, and then their hardcovers are like $14 or $15, which I'll pay for a hardcover. But some of their hardcovers are like $6 to $7, which is great. So I was like, oh, they buy used books. So I was like, I kind of want to get rid of some. But now I kind of regret getting rid of Heartless Hunter and of Jade and Dragons because those were not cheap. And they literally gave me basically 50 cents each for the books. And I got rid of at least 15 books. And I'm like, are you serious? $8? But then they said I would get $12 store credit. And I was like, why are we both only getting $8? Because my mom had like over 30 books and I had like 15. And it's like, they're usually like so nice when I'm buying books, of course. And I usually always talk to all of them and they're always like really chill. But I feel like the next time I go there, I'm going to complain about just the way they handled it. But also like the fact that I gave them some really nice books and the fact that like they're in great condition. So it's like to buy them for 50 cents each. Like I understand that the bookstore needs to make money. Maybe make them like paperbacks like $2 a piece and maybe make the hard covers like maybe $4 or $5. But it's like $8 for each of them. I'm like, are you serious? Like my books were newer than my mom's, so I thought I would get like maybe like $20 for the whole thing. Maybe. But I was like, $8? I was like, so I ended up just getting 3 books with the store credit. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, I probably should have kept Heartless Hunter and of Jade and Dragons, and I probably should have just tried and sold them on Amazon. But honestly, I couldn't even be bothered. But I don't know if I could have taken... Heartless Hunter is definitely too old. So I definitely couldn't have taken that back to Barnes & Noble. But like, because I bought that back in like March. But like, of Jade and Dragons, I think I bought back in July. And I wasn't sure if I could like take it back for like a store credit. But Barnes & Noble's like pretty strict about their 30-day policy, but I'm going to return one paperback that I overpaid for anyway when my new Barnes & Noble opens. That was like $20. So at least I'll get some money back for that. It'll be like getting money back for one of those hardcovers, but like I was like, that's really shitty. Like, I don't know. Definitely never selling books to them again. And I'm glad I kept the books that I really wanted to keep, and I got rid of the ones that I really didn't want to keep. So, because I was thinking about giving them One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns too, and I was like, no, I like those books too much. So I was like, I'm gonna keep them. So yeah, that was like kind of bullshit. And I probably should have, but like, I really did not like Heartless Hunter and Of Jade and Dragons all that much. So those are the only two I regret giving them. The paperbacks I could care less about. But like, yeah. So anyway, that was kind of bullshit, but you live and learn, right? But my mom just wanted to get rid of them, but I was like, I should have asked them, is there any reason why we're getting so little when my books are like pretty new? But like, yes, they go down in value if they're in like not great condition. So like, I'm trying to think with some of the books that I bought. I mean, most of the used books have been in really good condition. So I'm wondering if like, I don't think they even take ones that are really not great condition. So I think it was kind of bullshit, but whatever. I just wanted them out of my collection. So anyway, I'm about to finish Lovely War, and I am absolutely freaking obsessed with this book. I love it so much. I've cried, I've laughed, I just love it so much. So I will give my final thoughts in my my reading finding a 5-star video, but I'm on page 428 and I only have like 22 pages left because it's only 450 pages. So I've actually been listening to the audiobook today, and I am absolutely loving the audiobook as well because like I said, I finally got my Spotify listening hours back. But I already know this is going to be a 5-star. I'm absolutely devouring this, and I haven't really felt like this about a book in quite a while. Like, even though I gave some books 5 stars last month, this book is amazing, and I would just recommend this book to everyone. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to go finish it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for yesterday. I just was pretty drunk last night, so I didn't really feel like saying my makeup look last night. Because I went to happy hour with my friend and she took me out for my birthday. Even though it's like 3 weeks after, which is really sweet of her because I thought she was that we were just gonna go to happy hour, but then we kept on talking about taking each other out for happy hour for our birthdays. But I did get her an Ulta gift card like for her birthday back in April, but we never really got to do anything for it because we were supposed to have like this party, but then she didn't really want that. So I still got her a gift card for her birthday. So, but she wasn't able to do anything for me for my birthday, but it doesn't matter. Like, I totally understand if you're not able to, but she took me out and it was great. It was so much fun. We had like 2 drinks each at both places, and we were like so tipsy at that point. She does come all the way from Queens, but like her sister lives like literally right behind the restaurant that we went to. So she just goes over there and like sobers up because she was like, I was pretty tipsy too. Because like for some like it makes happy hour so worth it because the drinks are actually super potent and they really get you buzzed. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used, sorry I'm tired because I really haven't been sleeping that great again. I got like 1 night of sleep like 3 days ago. So then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And I'm also going out tonight with my 2 coworkers, and we're going to this new ramen place in the village here, and we're really excited. I'm sure it's going to be so good. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into the Lookbook Cosmetics shadows that I have. I just felt like using these yesterday, and I went into this shade in crease. I do not know the shade names. I could never take these out again, but these shadows are so good. And then I darkened up the crease more with this shade, and then I used this shade on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I just went into this shade, and then that was it. And then I just used my highlighter for my inner corners, which is the one from Lethal that I also used as my highlighter. And then I went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, if I could speak. And then I went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Soft Brown. And then I went into what did I use for my mascara? I think I used the Cali Ray mascara, and then I went into Maybelline Lash Scarvia on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. Actually, I haven't used this in a hot second, so I was like, I kind of want to use it. The Luminous foundation in the shade 110C. I still love this on my skin. It looks so beautiful. And then for my concealer, I went into the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer in the shade LG3. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Dior powder. Again, I'm having such trouble speaking right now. And then for my bronzer, I went into my Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade Light. And then for my blush, I went into the Kat Von D blush in the shade Honeysuckle. And then for my highlight, I again went into the Lethal Cosmetics one. I forget what this shade is called, actually. Oh my god, I just literally just dumped that on myself, but I just used the highlighter. But this blush, like, always gets, like, it got all over my fucking leggings. And these leggings are clean. Like, I just started wearing these yesterday. Great. That's fucking fantastic. God damn it. I don't even have a... Do I even have a tissue? I guess I do. Already, thank fucking god, so it doesn't stain my leggings. Sorry about that. And then I set my face with my Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel, and then for my lips, I just went into the Pat McGrath Labs liquid lipstick lip liner again in the shade Structure. And then for my lipstick, I went into Bloom to Bloom by ColourPop, because for some reason I just couldn't find a regular nude lipstick yesterday. Like, I felt like the ones that I would wear quite a bit, they just looked too pink. And it's like, why is it every time we want a nude lipstick, we always have to worry about it being too pink? It's like some lipsticks, like, just don't even have nude undertones anymore. It, like, bothers me. So I went into this shade from ColourPop, and this one was actually nude. So anyway, that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I think I told you guys I was going to start The Wedding People by Alison Espach. And I'm almost 200 pages in already. I'm on page 193, and I am freaking loving this. This is so funny. It is a dark comedy, so just check your trigger warnings a little bit, because it does talk about unaliving quite a bit, because the main character, it's just so funny. Basically, the main character comes to this hotel where this wedding is happening, and she's not a wedding guest. She just checks herself into the hotel because she actually wants to unalive herself. But she keeps on running into people from the wedding that keep on interrupting her to be able to unalive herself. And that's like the dark comedy aspect of it, and it's just so funny so far. And basically she tries to rediscover reasons to not end her life, and it's just been so good so far. The writing is fantastic, and I really do think that this might be another 5-star already. Like I said, I felt like I was gonna read much better books this month, and so far this week has been a really good reading week with Just Last Night, Lovely War, and now this. They're all great books. So far I've been really loving this. So I'm really excited to see what happens with the main character. I think she's just so funny. And there and also it takes place like right after COVID, like when people were able to like socialize again and have weddings. I think this was back in like 2022 or 2023. So like basically right after people were allowed to do things again, like after like less infections and stuff. And like I've been reading quite a lot of books about after COVID, like 15 Summers Later. And what was the other one that I just read? I felt like, just last night, just last night, Primetime Romance. They all talked about COVID in like such a good way. So like the way that they addressed it was just so real, and I really did enjoy them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna go eat lunch now because I'm getting pretty hungry. And then I'll just get ready like a bit later. So, and hopefully I'll tell you guys my makeup look a bit later. So bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I did tell you guys that I was gonna go get ramen with my work bestie and our coworker that used to work at Lucky. We haven't seen her in quite a while, so we went to get ramen at this new place, and we were like really excited for it, like in our town, and it really was really not good. Like all of our ramen was just so bland. It literally just had no flavor. So like that was kind of like maybe the worst ramen I've had. Like there's another place in the town and it's just like 10 times better. Like I think I've taken my boyfriend there. I took my best friend there. I went there with my coworkers the last time we went out. And we went to this ramen place and we love it. So we were like super excited for a new place to open. And it wasn't that good. No. So, but we wanted to try it, and I am full. But like when I was hungry, when I was eating, I don't know, just like I feel like everything wasn't really that great. They didn't even have alcohol yet. So we ended up going to another bar just to get a drink, but also my friend was like, "Let's go get a slice of pizza." And I was like, "Maybe we shouldn't order ramen and just go to the other place that we really like." But we should have just went there. But yeah. It just wasn't really that good. And they both took theirs to go because we all ate like pretty much half of it. But like it was just the broth and the meat just didn't really have enough flavor at all. There was like zero spice in the broth. And what makes a really good broth is that you shouldn't need the spice. It has like a perfect amount of salt and it tastes a little bit more like meat fatty, but could not taste anything. And the noodles were weird too. They were like very watery, so I don't know. My friend was like, the soup that comes out of the can is better than this at the supermarket. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what you get at the Asian Mart is better. And I keep on forgetting that I have a cup of ramen in the pantry that I might just eat tomorrow because I don't have any plans tomorrow now. I was supposed to go to the beach, but then something happened with my friend. So I'm just going to chill tomorrow, and then I actually have plans Saturday and Sunday. I ended up being able to have plans Saturday and Sunday. Since I'm not going to the beach tomorrow, I'm just going to go to the beach with my best friend on Saturday because he's able to go then, because he's not able to go on Fridays because he always works Fridays. So, and then Sunday I'm going out to dinner with my other friend that I haven't seen in a little while. So yeah. So anyway, I prime my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I use the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder. Then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into, oh my god, the Natasha Denona My Dream palette, and I just really wanted to do like a dark smoky eye with this, so I just went into Nurture in the crease. I use this palette all the time, and the Yucca palette. They're just still my favorite palettes from Natasha Denona. Honestly, the palettes that she's been coming out with now are so boring. Like, this is like literally the only neutral palette I've ever needed from her. This palette is spectacular. I love this palette so much. I use it all the time. And then I went into Aspiration to darken up the crease. And then I used the Black is Black, which this color is so good, to deepen up the outer corners. So I did that. And then for the lid, I just decided to go into the Multi-Chrome Vision. And it was just so pretty. I love this shade so much, and I hadn't used it in a hot second. I could have just done a purple smoky eye. I probably should have just done that, but it's okay. It's not a huge deal. But that actually really would have been pretty. But oh well, at least I still used Vision. Maybe I will use this like later on in the month and just do the same look again. I'm not really sure, but there is another shirt that I want to wear later in the month if I end up like going out with them again. But we'll see. Sorry, my fucking leg is so itchy. That's what happens when you have eczema. And then I went into my Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Black. Oh, and then for the inner corners, I just used Babies, and it was so pretty. I love this palette so much. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then for my mascara, I went into the Lancome Hypnose Mascara, and then I went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Tower 28 SOS Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into the Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear foundation in the shade 120N. And then for my concealer, I went into the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder. And then for my bronzer, I just went into my Pat McGrath bronzer again. I'm so freaking tired. Hopefully I sleep tonight, in the shade Naked Desire. And then for my blush, I've just learned to be delusional, I guess. I went into the NYX Ombre Blush in the shade Nude to Me, which is this one right here. And then for my highlight, I went into the Catrice More Than Glow highlighter in the shade Supreme Rose Beam. This one's so beautiful, and I just wanted to use it today. I haven't used it in a hot second. I'm trying to use some blushes and highlights that I haven't used in a little while. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into the Pat McGrath Labs liner in the shade Structure. And then for my lipstick, I went into the Gwen Stefani Give by Gwen Stefani lipstick in the shade I'm Still Here camo liquid lipstick. It's like a really nice like pale liquid lipstick. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as the reading update goes, I'm still reading The Wedding People by Alison Espach. I'm on page 269, and I'm absolutely loving this. This is just so fantastic. So I only have another 95 pages. I'm not sure if I'm going to binge it tonight. I think I'm just going to read for another like maybe 45 minutes. We'll see, because I really do want to go to sleep a bit earlier tonight. But I do want to read for a bit. But I think I'm just going to finish it tomorrow afternoon, because then I am going to go into a Kindle read, because I found that the book that I do want to read later in the month, I found it on Kindle Unlimited. Like, it literally just came out on Kindle Unlimited like a couple of days ago, even though the book had just come out like September 2nd. It came out the same day as The Life Impossible and Primetime Romance. It's called The Games Gods Play. And I really do want to read it this month, because then that'll be a new release still. And since I'm not reading Nothing Like the Movies this month, I really do want to read that one. Again, I don't know why I thought that book was coming out this month, because on Goodreads it says September 24th, but on Amazon and Kindle it says October 1st. So I'm going with Amazon and Kindle. They have to know the release date so they can pre-sell it and also sell it when it comes out officially. But yeah, I found out that that book is on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to return the book to Target. What sucks is that some of the most beautiful books that I end up purchasing end up being on Kindle Unlimited, and then I have to return them to Target. Like, I returned Heaven Breaker, and I was like, I really don't want to return it because it's so beautiful, but why am I going to keep it if I can just read it for free? And like I said, I don't really purchase the physical copy unless it's not on Kindle Unlimited, but then like a couple months later it can be released on Kindle Unlimited, and then I'm like, oh, I'm still haven't read the physical copy. Like, Daughter of the Pirate King is on Kindle Unlimited, but I still haven't read the trilogy yet, but I'm planning to read that later this month. But I might just read the first book on Kindle Unlimited. After I return the Games Gods Play on Kindle Unlimited, I could just download Daughter of the Pirate King. So we will see. So yeah. I actually started it on my Kindle last night, and I'm so hooked. So I'm like super excited for it. And then I'm going to read Love Hypothesis after that before I start the Caraval trilogy. And I'm just really excited to get into some fantasy series. And I thought some trilogies would be the perfect way to do that. So I really do need to do that. So yeah, that's it. Bye. And I'm in such a fantasy mood again. So I have quite a bit of I have 2 fantasy trilogies to read and the Games Gods Play, so that's another 7 fantasy books, so, and Assistant to the Villain, so that's 8 fantasy books. So it's still a lot of fantasy because it's the fall, and we all love our fantasy in the fall. So yeah, that's it. Bye! Okay, so hey there guys, so I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I did go to the beach with my bestie, and then we went and got dinner. We were at the beach for probably like a good 4 hours. He was there probably a good like almost 6 hours or 5.5 hours because he got there at like 12:30. I didn't get there until like almost 2. And then we left like a little bit before 6. So we were there like a decent amount of time, and it was such a beautiful day today. And like I said, I was supposed to go to the beach yesterday with my other group of friends that I go with, and usually he can't make it with us. Sorry, my light is just too bright right now. But if we go on a Saturday, then he can come because he's not working. So anyway, and then we went to this really good restaurant called Mulberry Street. I'm not even sure if it might be the Billy Joel song that, I forget what it's called, but it's called like something Mulberry Street. And since Billy Joel's from Long Island, I don't know if it's about that restaurant. I have to look it up. I'm like, why do I know this name? I'm like, oh, duh. It's like in his freaking song. So anyway, I primed my eye, and it was delicious. I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I just decided to go into the Sigma Ambiance palette because I don't really do much for the beach. So I just took like 2 shades. I used Basque in the crease, and then I just used Midas on the lid, and then for the inner corners I just took Sunflower, so that was it. So basically I just used these 3 shades. And then for the brow bone, I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Money on the brow bone. I actually didn't wear makeup yesterday because I didn't really have any plans, because like I said, I didn't end up going to the beach with my other friends. There's some stuff going on with one of my friends. We're actually pretty worried about him. It's not really that great. Some of my group of friends are older than me. They're like 50 plus. So I have like a whole array of friends, and then my best friend is like 10 years younger than me. So when you get older, like age doesn't really matter anymore. And then for my waterline, I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Limitless Brown. And then for my mascara, I went into the Tower 28 mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face. Sorry, I went to bed pretty late last night because I really wasn't that sleepy until like 3 a.m., but I am pretty sleepy now, so. And then for my face, I primed with the I think I already said the Tower 28 SOS spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer because that's what I always use. And then for my foundation, I just went into the Cali Ray Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. And then for my concealer, I went into the Coffee Concealer in the shade Bad Bottom. And then I set my under eyes with the Rare Beauty powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Milani bronzer in the shade Dolce. And then for my blush, I went into one of my favorite, like, everyday ColourPop blushes. This is the shade No Rules. It's such a pretty, like, peachy, warm-toned blush. And then for my highlight, I just went into the ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Highlighter, which is one of my favorite highlighters as well. I really like using the Super Shock highlighters for the beach because they just last so well. Because, like, they're not going to go anywhere because they're, like, a putty kind of formula. So I find that they just last pretty well at the beach. And then I just set my face with the... I forgot I took my concealer with me, but I ended up not even using it. And then for my... Where the hell is my lippy? I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. Oh, it's right here, right in front of me. And then for my lips, I just went into the NYX Slick Click Fat Oil Skinny Lip Balm in the shade Link in my bio. I love this one. It's just so pretty. And yeah, that's what I used for my makeup. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I am reading a Kindle read right now because I'm reading a new release. And I kind of missed reading on my Kindle, even though I have like 10 million physical books to read. But I am reading a new release because I actually bought the physical book, but then I actually saw that it was available on Kindle Unlimited. So I think it came out on Kindle Unlimited maybe like a couple of days after it was released. But what's so funny is that this book was released on the same day as The Life Impossible and Primetime Romance. I think another book came out that day as well. Don't think that's on my TBR though. I forget what it is. But it sounded intriguing. I need to look it up later. But I only had time for like 3 new releases this month. I'm still reading all the new releases that I was really interested in. So I already read Primetime Romance and The Life Impossible in the beginning of the month. But this one is called The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. And I'm pretty much halfway through. I'm on page 311. You just read so much faster when you're reading on your Kindle. And so far, I'm really enjoying this. I think it's just such a fun time. And yeah, it was released the same exact day as those other 2 books. I thought that was so funny, but I just returned the physical book to Target yesterday because I'm like, I don't need to keep the physical one when it's on Kindle Unlimited. But you know what annoys me sometimes about some newer releases is that this book is so beautiful because it has like the sprayed edges, and it just like bothers me when I have to return that type of book because it's so pretty. I was like, I don't want to return it. It's so pretty. But then I'm like, but it's on Kindle Unlimited. Like, why am I going to keep it? You know, like, I'm not like that person that has to have every book physically just because I loved it or because it's on Kindle Unlimited. Like, I don't have to buy the physical book if I'm already reading it on Kindle Unlimited. Unless it's like by an author that I just need to have all of their books. And usually, like I've said before, I said this so many times, but it's usually just Abby Jimenez. Like if her books are available on Kindle Unlimited, I'm still going to buy all of her books because she's still like my favorite romance author of all time. And One Dark Window I bought way before it was on Kindle Unlimited. Like, that's basically, like, the books that I own. The only one that I went out and bought physically, because I had to own it physically, even though I bought it on Kindle. I read it on Kindle Unlimited. No, I bought it on Kindle when it came out, because I thought the physical book was too hard to read, was Throne of the Fallen. As soon as the paperback came out, I bought the physical book because I'm like, I loved that book so much, so I had to own it. But I didn't go out and buy Powerless and Reckless and Powerful. I had bought all of them on Kindle. So I'm like, I don't need to buy them again if I read all of them on Kindle. It's like, I don't need to pay for it twice. If I'm going to buy it and read it on Kindle, then that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm doing pretty good with my reading this month. I'm pretty much at where I usually am. This is like my 7th book that I'm reading physically. This is still counts as a physical book because I'm reading it physically. Even though it's on my... God, these stickers do not stay on. None of my stickers stay on my Kindle. They all end up coming off eventually. The Timmy Turner one is the only one that's probably going to stay on for eternity. But these are the only stickers that I've been able to keep on. All the ones I got from Michael's just came right off. So I should have just put them on my TBR jar. But what are you going to do? So I'm just going to go take a shower and read for the rest of the night. I don't know why I felt like I had something else to say. We're just hoping our friend will, get better. So it's like pretty bad right now. I actually haven't heard any updates today. The last I heard was like yesterday afternoon. So yeah, but today was such a beautiful day. We didn't want to miss out on the beach. Then I have this stack of books behind me. That's what I was going to say. Of the trilogy I'm going to start next because I just really was in the mood for a trilogy, and I asked on Goodreads which trilogy should I start with, and overwhelmingly people said Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This was gonna be on my TBR for September, but then I put the whole Shatter Me series on my TBR, and then I was like, you know what, maybe I should just read 2 trilogies. So I have Caraval on my list, and then Legendaries right here, because that's the second one, so I'm gonna jump into these 2 as soon as I finish The Games Gods Play, because I've been in like a big fantasy mood. I was going to read Love Hypothesis, but I think I'm going to read that after I finish these. So, night. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. But it was in between Caraval and Daughter of the Pirate King. Good night. But my mom's saying goodnight, but everybody overwhelmingly said Caraval. Daughter of the Pirate King was winning right in the beginning, but then Caraval got like 21 votes and Daughter of the Pirate King got like 8. So I'm like, okay, I guess everybody needs me to read Caraval. Because I read Once Upon a Broken Heart back in like March, and I really, really loved it. I'm just not a huge fan of the second book. Like everybody like raves about the second book, and I'm like, the first and the third are so much better. They're like 5-star reads for me, and the third book is like a 6-star read for me. I love that book so much. Unpopular opinion, but that's my favorite book in the series. So I've been wanting to read her other trilogy for quite a long time. So now I'm like, I feel like September is finally the right time. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I did go out with 2 of my girlfriends to Barnes & Noble and to dinner. I actually did buy 3 books from Barnes & Noble, but one of them was a new release that I found early. Another one was just a romance that I decided to get that I've been hearing really good reviews about. Excuse me. And then this third one was actually a second book in a series that I'm intending on reading at some point. I don't know when, but I do want to read this series. So that's what I got. I just mostly wanted to go to get that book that I wanted to see if they had it early, because it doesn't come out until Tuesday and they had it today. So I was really happy that they had it. I'm probably going to read that next. I actually just started Caraval on Spotify. It's still playing on my watch. I think it's so cool that it like stays on your watch. And it's really good so far. So we went to like this revolving sushi place where it has like a sushi belt where you basically just take out the sushi that you want to try and eat, and you just take as many plates as you want. And it was really, really good. I'm glad that we finally went there. We've never been there before, and it was really good. So I prime my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I use the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I went into my Star Wars Mandalorian palette because I thought it would be really pretty with this shirt. One of the shades is still shattered. I need to fix this. I'm just going to go do that after this. I'm just going to tell you the shades that I use because I can't really hold it up. So I used the shade Baby Face in the crease, which is kind of like a minty green. It goes like pretty much exactly with this shirt. And then I darken up the crease more with Float Your Crib over here. And then for my outer corners, I almost said for me outer corners. I used Droid Protocol on the outer corners, and then for the lid, I used Right Hand Mando, which is like that really pretty, like silvery shade up here. And then for the highlight on the inner corners, I used Precious Cargo. And it looked really pretty. I haven't used this palette in a hot second, and I forgot how good it is. And then I used Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone, and then I went in with the Makeup by Mario liner. I don't know why this keeps on going up. It's annoying the crap out of me. Like, can it stay down? Excuse me. And then I went into my Makeup by Mario liner in these shades Soft Brown, or the Perfect Brown, whatever the hell it's called. And then I used the Essence Lash Primer, and then I used the Lancome Hypnose Mascara on the top lashes, and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Tower 28 spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I used my Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. I hope that this foundation is still good. It's kind of getting old. I might have to get rid of it. It doesn't look that great on my skin anymore. So I might actually declutter this because I really don't know how old it is. And then I used the coinciding concealer in the shade 10NN. I also left the bag that I bought the books in my car. I accidentally left it in there because I was picking up my friend. And I don't like keeping it on the floor when she's in the, front seat because, but she doesn't mind, but I still put it in the back seat. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And of course, this is like the one time I wanted to show you guys the books I bought. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. I just didn't want to open the door again because then the dogs would start barking and my mom and my brother are like watching something. So I'll just grab it later when I walk the dogs. And then for my blush, I went into the Lawless Velvet Blush in the shade Angel Suede. I haven't used this in a hot second, so I wanted to use it today, and it just looks so pretty. And then for my highlight, I don't know if this is still good either, but it kind of smells a little weird. This is like a really old Lele Posh one. This is the Love to Love one, which was like the Pride highlighter. I don't even know if she's still in business anymore, but I do use the highlighter. This is like the only thing I still use from the brand, besides like one of the other loose highlighters that I have from them. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I went into my Lawless lipstick in the shade Tropic because I also used the blush. I don't think I've actually used these two together. And I'm like, I need to change that. And you guys know how much I love these Lawless lipsticks. I have 3 different shades because I love that formula so much. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I did finish Taming 7 today, which is the 5th book in the Boys of Tommen series. So now I am all officially caught up with the Boys of Tommen series. I've been listening to the audiobooks, and I just finished the audiobook earlier today right before I went out, which I pretty much knew I was going to finish it today because I only had like 45 minutes left. So I was just listening. Oh my God, this is driving me nuts. I was listening to it when I was getting ready, and I still gave it 5 stars. I just love that series so much. I'm like, well, I don't know if I loved this one just as much as the previous ones, but I feel like listening to it on Audible or via audio, makes me love the series like that much more. And I just think it's such a fantastic series. So I think that's like the first like series that I've just rated every book 5 stars all the way through. I just absolutely love the characters so much. I don't think I've ever been so connected to characters in a series besides like ACOTAR. And I just love it. I even gave them higher ratings than all the ACOTAR books. Like for ACOTAR, I've only given the first 3 5 stars. I still love those books to death. But for some reason, The Boys of even higher than Magnolia Parks. I gave all of these books 5 stars because I think that they're just so fantastically written. And this one did not take me too long to get through because this one is way shorter than the other ones. I think this one was only like 11 or 12 hours long when like all the other previous books were like 20 hours long. So they would take me like most of the month to get through. But this one, I knew I was only going to get through it in like 2 weeks. And I really, really loved it. So I just couldn't give it any less than 5 stars. Maybe I'm biased. I just love these characters so much. And I just think that the journeys that they go through as characters is just, it's heartbreaking, but also they just feel so real. So I absolutely loved it. And then, so that is my 7th book that I finished. And then I should be able to finish The Games Gods Play tonight. I'm on page 436. So it says I have a little bit less than 4 hours left. So I should be able to finish it tonight. I'm pretty much just going to read for the rest of the night. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. Again, my mom is watching something with my brother, so we're not going to puzzle right now, so I'm just going to read. And we will see what I start next. But I actually started the audiobook of Caraval by Stephanie Garber because this one is actually included in Spotify Premium. And I haven't really used my listening hours this month. I only used it to listen to Lovely War. And now I started this and I'm on page 35 and so far I'm really, really liking it. So I probably will just end up listening to this some more, or I will just continue reading this physically tomorrow after I finish. Yeah, I think I'm just going to read this next because I'm really into it already. And I really just want to read this trilogy. But like I said, I did pick up a new release and I was kind of thinking about starting that tomorrow. But I might just read that later in the week. I don't have to blast through Caraval unless I really want to read the second and the third book once I finish the first one. But yeah, regardless, we're still going to read Caraval this week, regardless if I start that new release tomorrow or if I continue with Caraval, because I'm still going to be listening to the audiobook whenever I'm like getting ready or whenever I'm doing something. So I'll update you guys when I get further into it. I might get like halfway through and then just read the rest physically. So yeah, that's it. Bye.